All right, yeah, just let me know when we up. Let me see something. Is it up?
It's live, but I don't see you move.
Testing.
Okay, I see you moving.
There's still no sound. That's crazy. Hold on.
Yo, pause again.
This thing, man. Let me see. Yeah, everybody saying they can't hear me.
You look like Dennis.
Testing. Come on, man. Testing. Still nothing.
Yes.
Oh, it's working now?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Let me see. Okay, so everybody here. Can I hear it on my phone? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you can hear me now. Okay, Most High in Christ. All right, who's that? Dennis or Denise Salakia? I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Or Dennis.
Okay, give me a thumbs up. Okay, the water. Appreciate it. Salakia. Kind of some technical difficulties. Okay. All right, Shalom Israel. Shalom Yahweh Yahshua thumb to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Yahshua to the sisters. We are the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And we've been teaching the truth since 1969 that all so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are God's chosen people, according to the Bible and according to history. Also, we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. I got to make that very clear, okay? Now, today, so I guess it's going to be a slightly shorter class, but we're going to be going over the curses. I think brothers and sisters need to, we're going to get back to the basics real quick. Remind brothers and sisters of that. We're going to be going over Leviticus. We're going to be starting with 26, 14 through 21. Those will be the first 7 verses. We're also going to be going over, sadly, yet another issue that's going on in America right now. It was, I'll get more into it, but it was another black man here in America that was killed in broad daylight, in cold blood, not even a cop this time. Not even a cop, a regular pedestrian. Nobody did anything about it. And this just goes to show what America and honestly the world really views of us, right? As a people. Most people don't even view us as a people. But with that being said, I'm going to get started with the class. So Ahmadi and just me up here. All right, La Yasharala, which means to Israel. Madiam Aponyah HaKodam, which means to rise or stand and face the east. We're going to be getting with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. This is the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kodash,
Kodash,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malakutah,
Malawaka,
Taba'ah,
Taba'ah,
Batzaka,
Zaka,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Baratza,
Baratza,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Bashamayim,
Bashamayim,
Latan Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Lakam,
Lakam,
Kol,
Call,
Yawam,
Yawam,
Wasalaknawa,
Wasalaknawa,
Kabawathnawa,
Kabawafnawa,
Kasalaknawa,
Kasalaknawa,
Kabawathinawa,
Kabawafnawa,
Wala'ah,
Mala'ah,
Tabayanawa,
Tabayanawa,
Bansaiwa,
Balasaiwa,
Abal,
Abal,
Habashainawa,
Alam Shamawa,
Mayun,
Maya,
Ra,
Right,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Lakut,
Lakut,
Hamalakwa,
Hamalakwa,
Wa'ala,
Waha'ala,
Watapara,
Watapara,
Lawalamim,
Lawalami,
Aman.
Aman.
Now in the English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom
thy
come,
kingdom come,
thy will be done
thy will be done
in
in
earth
earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our
And
debts,
lead us not
and lead us not
into
into
temptation,
temptation,
but deliver
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be
Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh,
it. Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushua,
Obashah,
Obashah,
Latan Lanaw,
Lanaw,
Hakak,
Akak,
Hakak,
Akak,
Rapa'ah,
Barakah,
Akal,
Akal,
Makalah,
Makala,
Wakal,
Wakal,
Madawa,
Malawa,
Hakak,
Akak,
Latahar,
Atahar,
Ha,
Ha,
Matuzurayan,
Matuzurayan,
Hakak,
Akak,
La'aquayan,
La Coin,
Amatim,
Amatu,
Hakak,
Akak,
Ayel,
Ah,
Lakawath,
Salwa,
Tamahal,
Tamal,
Garshun,
Garsham,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushua,
the water,
the water,
Aman.
Aman,
Yeah. Now in the English, Yahweh, in
Yahweh,
the name of
in the
Yahushai,
name of Yahushua,
please give us the power,
give us the power,
power to heal
power to heal
all manner of sickness,
all manner of sickness,
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
power to cleanse the leper,
power to raise the dead,
power to raise the dead,
power against unclean spirits,
power against unclean
to
spirits,
cast them out,
to cast them out.
in the name of
In
Yahushai.
the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be
The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah
it.
Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahushai,
Yahushua,
Wa Mayaka Allah,
Wa
Wa Alahayim,
Wahalayim,
Matazad Ya'ab,
Matazad Yah,
Alawap Yahana,
Alawap Yahan,
Ha Alawapim,
Ha Alawapim,
Ha Saranyim,
Hasaranyan,
Ha Patazayoyin,
Hakwasiranyan,
Ha Kayayoyin,
Hakuyoyoyan,
Wa Ha'akwafim,
Bahawakwakim,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushua,
the water,
the water,
Aman.
Aman.
Now the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahushai,
and Yahushua,
and Michael,
and Mike,
and the angels,
and the angel,
commanding General Yahweh,
Commander Junior Hunter,
the angel, the generals,
the general,
the captains,
the captain,
the officers,
the officer,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters,
and the sister,
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of
In
Yahushai.
the name of Yahushua,
Thank you.
thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Asha'a,
Ayanya,
Yanya,
All, Haharim,
Yaharim,
Mayan,
Bayan,
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'a,
Izoria,
Azaria,
Izoria,
Azaria,
Ma'aim,
Ma'ai,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shemayim,
Shemayim,
Waratazah,
Maharatza,
All Yathan,
Ayathan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Zagalka,
Garka,
All,
All,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Shemarka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Ana,
La'ah,
La'a,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'ah,
Wala'a,
Yayashun,
Yasham,
Shawamar,
Shawar,
Yasha'ala,
Yasha'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shemarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazarka,
Ayad,
Ayad,
Yimka,
Khan,
Yawamam,
Yabramam,
Hashemash,
Hashemash,
La'ah,
La'a,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wyarak,
Bayarak,
Belialah,
Balayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
McCall,
Bakal,
Rai,
Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashmar,
Athnapashka,
Athnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashmar,
Tazafka,
Taza'aka,
Babu'afka,
Tabuka'aka,
Maita,
Mayata,
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai,
Awalam.
Awalam.
Now in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help comes from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to
He
be
will
moved.
not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall not slumber
shall
nor
not
sleep.
slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade
The Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite
The
thee by
sun
day,
shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy
The
going
Lord
out
shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
And this time forth
And this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
all Damayah,
Amanigah,
Laka,
Laka,
all
Dakarash,
Takarash,
Dakarash,
all
Wa'al,
Fashakwat,
Wasquat,
all
All,
Kayahana,
Kayanala,
it's like it. Awayimika,
Ayamyaka,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
I'il,
I,
Amaka,
Hamaka,
Ya'ayamwa,
Ya'ayim,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Waida,
Wa'ada,
Retazawa,
Batazawa,
I'il,
I,
Tezapawanyaka,
Tazapa, Wanyaka,
Amorwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Basawa,
Wanakakidum,
Wanakapu,
Magoya,
Magaya,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shum,
Sham,
Yasha'ala,
Yasha'ala,
Awada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa,
Nawa,
Aitazawa,
Atazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakarwa,
Yakadwa,
Alika,
Alik,
Baryaf,
Bayer,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarasha,
Ahaya,
Ahaya,
Adawam,
Anawam,
Wa,
Wa,
Yashima Alim,
Yashama Ayam,
Mawa Abba,
Mawa Abba,
Wahagarian, the
Wagarian,
Ball,
the Ball,
Wam1,
Wam,
Malak,
Malak,
Al-Shaf,
Alashah,
Mishabia,
Al-Mashadi,
Taz of War,
Taz of War,
Gum,
Gum,
Ashawar,
Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Lalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hawa,
Hayawa,
Zorawai,
Zarawai,
Labunya,
Labunya,
Lawat,
Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Lahum,
Lahum,
Kamudyam,
Kamudyam,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayamya,
Wayamya,
Barakah,
Barakom,
Koyashwar,
Fayashwa,
Shabbawa,
Shabakot,
Bayam,
Bayam,
Dara,
Gara,
Ayawa,
Ayawa,
Daman,
Dama,
Adama,
Adama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatam,
Yada,
Wada,
Yamwa,
Yamagwa,
Kairab,
Arab,
Kazahaba,
Kazahab,
Kazabak,
Kazabak,
Katazalmanai,
Kazazamana,
Call,
Call,
Nasiakamwa,
Exumal,
Shar,
Shar,
Amarwa,
Amara,
Narya Saki, Nayara Shah,
Norakasha,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Af, Nawaf,
Nahawaf,
Alahayam,
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 Ayahayam,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatam,
Kagogla,
Kadarga,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapunya,
Lapunya,
Raka'ah,
Raka'ah,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Taba'ira,
Taba'ira,
Ya'ira,
Ya'ai,
Wa,
Wa,
Kalahaba,
Kalaba,
Falahats,
Falahats,
Harayam,
Ariam,
Kun,
Khan,
Daradama,
Dawadap,
Masaira,
Asarar,
Abasa,
Babusa,
Apathka,
Apak,
Tabahalam,
Dabal,
Ala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Panyaham,
Bayaham,
Kuala One,
Kuala
Waya,
Waya,
Akwashwa,
Kashwa,
Shimka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahau,
Yabashwa,
Yabash,
Waya,
Waya,
Bahawa,
Wawa,
Adiai,
Adia,
Waya,
Vaya,
Parwa,
Parwa,
Waya,
Vaya,
Abadwa,
Barwa,
Waya,
Vaya,
Daiwa,
Daiwa,
Kata,
Kata,
Ata,
Ata,
Shimka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahau,
Labaka,
Labak,
Al Yawan,
Ayuma,
Alcohol,
Alcohol,
Al Rataza.
Awatza.
Now in the English, keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace,
and be not still.
and be not still,
O God,
O God.
for lo,
Thine
enemies
enemy,
make atonement.
make atonement.
They that hate thee
For they that hate thee
have lifted up the
have
head.
lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty
They
counsel
have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden.
They have said,
They have said,
Come
Come
and let us cut them
and
off
let us cut them off
from being a nation at the name of Israel.
The name of Israel,
Maybe no more remember.
maybe no more remember.
They have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate
They are
against the
confederate against
tabernacles of Edom
the tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
of all
and Hagarenes,
Hagarines,
Baal
Baal
and Ammon
and Ammon
and Amalek,
and
the
Amalek,
Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Saul also was joined with them.
Saul's almost joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Syria,
as to Jabin,
as to Japan,
at the brook of Kison,
that the brook of the song,
which perished at Endor,
which perished at the
they
door,
became as dung for the earth.
became as dung for the
Make
earth.
their nobles like a red,
Lead their nobles like a red,
like Zaid.
and Laiae,
Yea,
yea,
all their princes,
all their princes,
as Zabah
as a pot,
and as Amun,
and as a moon,
who said,
who say,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the house of God in
the
possession.
house of God's possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a whip,
make them like a whip,
as a stubble before the
as a
wind,
stubble before the wind,
as a fire burneth the
as a
wood,
fire burn the wood,
as the flame set the
as the
mountains on
flames
fire.
set to be on the first stop.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill the faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled
and troubled
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High
art the Most High
over all earth.
of all earth.
All right, you may be seated. All right, so it's like today we're just gonna jump straight into the English just for today. Usually it's first 7 verses in the Hebrew. It's just for time's sake right now. So we're gonna be going to the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, and we're gonna start at verse 14. Can you get that from me, Elijah?
Come on, sir. I got it. The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 14. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments,
Right.
and if ye shall despise my statutes,
Mhm.
or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant,
Mhm.
I also will do this unto you.
Mhm.
I will even appoint over your terror,
Mhm.
consumption,
Right.
and the burning ark that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemy shall eat it. And I will set my face against you. Ye shall be slain before your enemies.
So right there, we can stop right there real quick, right? So I want everybody to take it to the context. Like we hear of the curses quite a bit, right? You usually go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and you read about the different curses that are going to fall upon, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. So right here, it's telling you, like, once we go against the Most High, all these horrible things are going to happen to us, right? And before I get into the horrible things that do continue to happen to us, I want to also go over the fact that there's a reason why these things happen. Right? There's a reason why these things happen. Why did that just do that? Salakia. Why is it so dark? Oh, that's why. There we go. But there's a reason why these things happen. It's because we disobeyed the Most High, and we continue to keep disobeying the Most High. This is why these horrible things continue to happen to us. So don't get it twisted. The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We ain't never gonna dilute that. These other heathens have done some horrible things to us, but it's because we continue to sin against the Most High. And this is why we are constantly in this state, right? Now, here's the thing. Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of, right?
Right.
Almost, you really can't go anywhere in the world where you're not gonna have some type of European influences. There might be like a few untouched lands and islands, but for the most part, European influence is at least somewhat in every single culture. Even if you go to, like, perfect example, when people think of Asians, usually think of what, like Chinese, Japanese, North and South Koreans, more like Mongolian looking people, right? The slanted eyes, the lighter skin. It's usually what you think of. Well, you go to, I think it's South Asian. So like it's South Asian. You see more like Indian looking people, just for education purposes. No, we are not talking about our Native American brothers and sisters. They are not Indian. All right. They are Native American. They are native indigenous to these lands, and they are also the 10 lost tribes of Israel. Now, reason why I'm bringing up, you're probably wondering why am I bringing up South Asians? Well, that's because that racism does exist all across the world, but racism is a social construct that was made by European descent people. And a lot of these other countries who have been influenced by Europeans follow this same system. If you're lighter, you're better. If you're darker, then, well, you're really not going to be viewed as a human being. You're going to be viewed as a second-class citizen, just so you know right there. Like, there's dark-skinned Korean people, right? I know people think that they all built like, I don't know, this damn paper right here. But that's just what they show, right? There are extremely dark Mexican people, right? But when you go on like Telemundo or something like that, what do you see? You see very, very light-skinned, more European-like features of Mexicans, because we all know that the Spaniards came down here and mixed in with our indigenous brothers and sisters. Even with black people, there are black people that are mixed with white. It's a fact. Like, it's a mix with white. But of course, in here we teach you that you are who your forefathers are on your father's side of the family. So your mama might be white, but if your dad is black, a so-called African American or Black American or Jamaican, Haitians, etc., if you are a descendant of the 12 tribes of Israel through your father's side, you are still an Israelite, right? But here in America, what do they try to do? Not so much in America, you see it more in Latin America, but you see it a little here too. They try to whiten you up. That's why it was brief. What's her name? Zendaya, I think they try to make her like the spokesperson for like all black women in America. And even she called it out. I was actually surprised. She called it out. She was like, I don't want to be the spokesperson because I don't represent all black women in America. Typical black women have darker skin. You have afros, you have braids, and the only reason that she looks, don't get it twisted, Zendaya is still a sister, but the reason why she looks the way she looks is because her mother is Edomite. Interracial marriage is a sin, though. A lot of the things that we do today here in the black community is a sin against the Most High.
Right.
And that's why we are where we are right now. And it's really bad. It's really bad because all we have to do is come back to the Lord, right? Now, even when you come back to the Lord, you got to understand something. Scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. You got to understand that. We were just having this conversation earlier. There's some white folk out there who will be very nice to you. Very nice to you. Hey, what's up, bud? What's going on? They might invite you to the unseasoned barbecue. They're gonna invite you to parties. Y'all swear these Edomite women love y'all. No, they love to have sex with you.
Right.
That's what they like. Okay. They don't actually love you unless, when I say love, they don't ever really love you. But they may stay with you either because you provide something,
Right.
right? You provide something. You might have money. There are black people that are rich, you know, so she might get with you because of that. But you got to understand that these other nations do not like you. I did a video not that long ago. It's some East European, some Ukrainian cat, way on the other side of the world, and he got a problem with Black Americans. He said that we're privileged. Yeah, oh, I didn't even tell you about that. Yeah, he said that. He said, and I quote, Black Americans are the most privileged people on the planet. And I'm like, you gotta be smoking, but you got my attention. I'm gonna watch this video. And I'm just gonna break down real quick all the things that this Ukrainian man decided to talk about Black Americans. And it showed the level of ignorance. First, he tried to say that, okay, when you go to different countries, right? I think Mexico, Egypt, and there's a lot of different countries. The average salary or average wage is a lot lower, right? Now, here in America, you have things called welfare checks. The average welfare check rate ranges somewhere between like $600, $700. Now, here's the thing. First of all, that's already racist as it is anyway, because you're thinking that you're associating Black people with welfare checks, which statistically, it's more white people that are on welfare checks than Black people.
Right.
But, you know, let's keep going. He thinks that just because that one welfare check is, you know, I guess the equivalent to what somebody's rent might be in a different country, that we're doing a lot better. Not taking into the accountability that, first of all, America is expensive as hell to live in. Okay, let me tell you something right now. A lot of stuff. What can you do with $600?
Barely get you some food.
Yeah, you can go grocery shopping.
That's it.
Yeah,
That
you can go. You can't pay rent with $600.
can't pay a note.
You can't do a lot. Like you could do a little something, but it sounds a lot in different countries. But a lot of this is not really going to amount to much here in America. Once upon a time, maybe, but not anymore, right? So we got that out the way. And I actually did the study. So did you know that the average minimum wage here in America is actually $7.25? The average. Of course, like here, you know, in California, it's higher, but the average in America is $7.25. Do you know what the average rent, not accounting for utilities, not your water bill, your heat bill, not your car note, your insurance, and other bills that you got to pay, just rent. Do you want to know what the average is in America? It's $1,794. No, $1,794. So about $1,800 a month. Your welfare check can't even pay your rent.
No.
Not even half. Not even half, okay? And it's actually been stated that somebody who was working full time with minimum wage here in America, you cannot make a substantial living and you can't meet the basic necessities to live in America. So you could work all the hours you want at Dunkin' Donuts. It don't matter. You're going to need some type of financial aid here in America. But again, Black people are the most privileged people in the planet, right? What else did they try to say? It was that. Not to mention, sidebar, you know that we're not the only country that has welfare checks, right? You know, like Mexico has welfare checks. You know, China has welfare checks. We are not the only country in the world that has welfare checks. So to bring up welfare, to say that we are privileged, he said it because it's our birthright that we get to apply for welfare checks. So we're now all of a sudden we're doing better. Not taking into the account of, I gotta show you the video later. It's crazy. Wow. It just shows the level of ignorance, right? But you got to understand the nature behind it. It's the perpetuated hatred that he has towards Black Americans. And I'm thinking, like, you're an East European. Western Europeans, they're the ones that mostly colonized us and everything. What are you doing? You over there. Don't they got problems in Ukraine? So you found the time to still hate Black people.
Crazy. You
still found the time. And that should show you the nature of the people that we live around, these heathens, because remember COVID? COVID was a worldwide pandemic. Right. Everybody, regardless of where you were, was suffering through COVID to some extent. And in that time frame, you saw race riots. Right. You saw Black people, they took it back. Black people were getting lynched and they ruled it off as a suicide. I never met a Black person that hung themselves from a tree. That's just facts. I've never seen that in my entire life. Right. All right.
You see all these, they were attacking vendors, street vendors, our Issakarite brothers and sisters, so-called Mexican, so-called Latino brothers and sisters. So even, and don't even give me, I believe his name was Ahmad Aubrey Salakia. He, that was the brother that got shot for jogging. I don't know if y'all remember that. He was jogging outside, and it was a white boy with a shotgun, and he shot him. They drove by in a truck. It was actually him and his father. They drove by and they shot him in broad daylight, and he died. And this is all in the midst of COVID, a worldwide pandemic, but you still somehow find the time to be bored enough to have this perpetuate hatred towards Black people. That's why we're reading in these scriptures like, these other nations, they don't love you. And we need to stop looking for acceptance from other nations. What verse were you at?
17.
17? You can read all the way down to 21.
Leviticus 26, verse 17. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies.
Right.
They that hate you shall reign over you.
It says they that who?
They that hate you.
That who?
That hate you.
That hate you. Keep going.
Shall reign over you.
Shall reign over you. Keep going.
And ye shall flee when none pursueth you. And if ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sin. And I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron and your earth is brass.
That's a jail scripture, by the way, for those of y'all who don't know. That's a jail scripture. You know, when it says that your heaven as iron and your earth is brass, you know, when you go to jail, you look up, you see metal. You look in front of you, you see metal bars. You look down, you see metal. You're in captivity. And who primarily is getting arrested here in America? It's Black people. They love to bring up Black on Black crime. Now, here's the thing. I'm not ignorant. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like there aren't Black people who are murderers. I'm not going to make it seem like there aren't Black people that are drug dealers. We speak out against that.
Right.
We tell our brothers and sisters, like, you need to stop doing that. Stop selling drugs in your community. Stop getting high off your own supply. All right. Stop gang banging. Stop being a child molester. Stop doing, just stop being an evil, wicked person. That's the whole point of this, right? You're not supposed to be like this. And we speak out against this because we don't want our people to continue to be like this. Now, with that being said, right? Hold up, Salakia. Give me. Is the sound on? Okay, there we go. Is the sound on? Okay, there we go. Salakia. There we go. Oh, I was tweaking for a second. But my point being is we speak out against this, right? We don't want any more Black on Black crime. But what is Black on Black crime anyway? Another concept, another Eurocentric concept that was made here in America. Because when Black people, Black on Black crime disrupts a neighborhood. White on white crime destroys countries.
Right.
Salakia, give me 1 second.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Shalom, okay, sir. Salakia, sir, can you hear me? What's going on? Kanokon, I'm doing class right now. I'm about to finish up in like 10 minutes. Kanokon, sir, I got you. All right, shalom, guys. All right, but Salakia, what was I saying? Stop doing evil, wicked things, right? But yeah, white on white crime destroys countries. You know what? I'm gonna break this down for you real quick. You don't even need to go to the scripture. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Matter of fact, you know what? Did you get to 21 yet?
No, I'm almost done.
Okay, get to 21, and then we'll go. Give me Ecclesiastes 7:7.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 20. And your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits.
Meaning that the fruits of your labor ain't gonna really amount to nothing. Like Black people got to work 3-4 times harder to have anything in this country. Right. Now, don't get me wrong, we got some little small Black businesses. Right. You know, like we do still, like, you got to understand how resilient of a people you got to be to go through what we go through and still find some way to like kind of prosper in some way. Right. You know, the Most High, look, God does love you, because if God didn't love you, we'd be dead. like understand that, like, we would be extinct. There would be no such thing as a so-called African American. Right. We would have died. The Mexicans, they would be gone. Native Americans, they're spreading. This is crazy to me. It was some people I seen a TikTok. It's from India, and it was some people saying that, Salaki, if I could real quick, you're good, Alatazar. Who is this? Dennis?
Can I get a breakdown on Romans 12, verse 19 through 21? If I can get to that, I will. I'm going to get through these scriptures first, though. I just didn't want you to think I was ignoring you. But my point being is we would have died off a long time ago. Like, you got to understand, it was inhumane things being done to us in broad daylight, just like how it is now.
Right.
You know, y'all think slavery ended. It didn't change that much. It just evolved. That's all that happened.
Correct.
But Slacky, you can keep going to verse 21.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 21. And if ye walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins.
Okay, you could drop that. Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 7.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
So it says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Y'all wonder why a lot of us are so angry. Y'all wonder, I don't even got to, you know what's crazy? I don't even got to talk about the school for this. A lot of you foreigners, a lot of you heathens, y'all wonder why Black people in America are always talking about slavery. We're always talking about how we're being oppressed. We're always talking about racism and discrimination and social injustice that's constantly being plagued on us. And for y'all from the outside looking in, who are not us, so you don't understand what we're really going through. Not really, and really you lack empathy because a lot of y'all don't even view us as human beings realistically. But my point being is, y'all wonder why we won't shut up. We won't shut up. I'm here to say to every nation out there, I don't care what country you from, what race you are, what ethnic background you have, Black people will never shut up about the social injustice that we continue to go through here in America. Y'all think we got it good because, well, you live in America. You guys are the superpower. Who's you guys? I don't run this country. Black people like, okay, we build up this country, but we don't run it. Your senators and your government and, you know, your elites, as some of y'all might say, you know, the people who really run this country, it's not Black people. I'll break it down for you right now. You know, a lot of Black people got English last names, right? English last names. You go out to the Caribbean, you go throughout Latin America. We have Spanish last names, Portuguese last names, French last names. We don't have our actual last names. We don't have Hebrew last names. I know a lot of y'all think that, you know, we're African. Yes, I understand that we were taken from certain points of West Africa, but there were people that were in West Africa, in certain parts of Africa, who were Shemitic, not Hamitic. But I'll level with you. You think that we're African, right? Okay, well, let me break it down to you like this. How many of y'all got African last names? Nobody. Because we were all conquered by Europeans. So we are not doing well. You might see Black people, you see Kanye West, you see Black celebrities and so on and so forth, who have money. We might have money, but racism and slavery is far deeper than that. We're not in a lot of us are not in physical chains anymore. Some of us are, the ones that are in jail, of course. But right here, you don't see no chains on me. I don't have handcuffs. I'm not tied to anything. I'm not getting beaten and whipped. There's a brother right here. He's sitting comfortably. All right. Now you're probably thinking, okay, well, what makes you so oppressed? Mindset, systematic racism. Did you know that it's been studies showing that even after 150 years after slavery, that Black people still suffer the repercussions of slavery? When we're born, statistically in America, Black boys, I'll focus on Black boys, are already said to be at a higher percentage of dying before the age of, I think, 21 to 25. You have a higher percentage of the possibility of being incarcerated at some point in your life just for being born. You are a baby. You can't even form cognitive thoughts yet. You can't speak. All you do is poop on yourself all damn day. But somehow they statistically can come up with these things and say that, oh yeah, you're 3 times more likely to end up in jail because you're Black. As a baby, I'll share something with y'all real quick, something a little personal, right? I was walking from school. I was young. I was like 11 years old. I think I was like 11 or 12. I think I was like 7th grade, something like that. I was in middle school. It's winter. I'm walking home from school. I walk home from school every single day, right? Take the same route. As I'm walking down the street, this cop car comes by, right? And this white lady comes out. She starts questioning me. Where am I going? What am I doing?
Now, you got to understand, I'm 11, 12 years old. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm just trying to get home, so I can go play video games, right? I should be doing my homework, but I didn't do that at the time. So my point being is I'm a child. I'm a preteen, so to speak, right? So she's questioning me as if I am a grown-ass man and persecuting me. She then tells me to get into the back seat of the cop car and proceeds to about to put handcuffs on me. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm a child, right? As I get into the back seat of the car, she gets on the radio and says that she's got the suspect. Need I remind you? Oh, yeah, I never told you this?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, this.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, I got a lot of stories.
Yeah.
So she says, and I quote, I have the suspect. Again, I'm 11. I'm 12 years old, somewhere around there, somewhere in that age range. And I'll be honest, I'm a kid. I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. I'm in the backseat of a cop car. I don't know what's going on. And I have handcuffs on me. Thankfully, on the radio, they say and report back to her, oh, we already have the suspect. And I still remember they gave a brief description, said that he was about 18 years old. I'm 11, 12, somewhere around there. How did you mistake me for an 18-year-old? A semi-grown man, you feel me? And all I said was, I'm just trying to walk home. That's it. But because I fit the description, I got put in the backseat of a cop car. Now, had the Most High not looked out, and y'all call it a coincidence, I call it God, right? It's the Most High looking out. Thankfully, they got on the radio and said that they already got the suspect. When that happened, she said, oh, and then took the handcuffs off me. I wanted to get out of the cop car. I'm walking home. No, this woman insisted that she bring me home. I'm like, man, at this point, just drive my ass home. I don't want to be here. I remember I pulled up. My dad walks outside. He looked concerned. He's like, what the hell? And then she tells him, now she's trying to be all sweet.
Okay.
We just had some disturbances in the neighborhood. I'm pretty sure we all heard that before. I'm just making sure that your son was safe. Yeah, okay. And then I told my dad what really happened. And he was pissed. But at that point, there was nothing to do, right? Thankfully, I didn't get harmed or nothing. I didn't get lost in the system because a lot of our brothers and sisters go through that. Yep. They get put in jail for a crime they never even committed. I'm 11. Okay? I'm a kid. I ain't even got hair on my face yet. And I was put in the backseat of a cop car because I fit the description for being black. That's it. You fit the description. And I know you're probably saying, well, that could happen to anybody. There's plenty of other people who are mistaken. Not white people. White people can go shoot up a school. And they will be treated with more humanity than a black person. You don't believe me? For the sake of time, I'm going to go over this one article. And then, we're going to head out, right? We're going to go over, for those of y'all who don't know, it is, I believe it's Mr. Neely. That's his name. So there was an incident that happened in New York. And I'm going to read it to you real quick. Let me just get it to pull up. Okay, so it says, New York City subway rider accused of choking a homeless man to death has been identified by his lawyers as 24-year-old U.S. Marine veteran and college student whom lawyers say acted to protect themselves and never intended to harm. His name was Daniel James Penny. All right, so y'all can actually go look up the video. It's actually sad as hell. So I'll give you a brief context of what happened. Apparently, there was a homeless black man who was stated to have mental issues, and on top of that, who was on a subway station. For those of y'all who are not from New York, I'm not from New York. I know everybody makes that joke, but I've been around the area a lot, and we're laughing. But my point being is, I've seen how the New York subway station works. It's for the most part, people just mind their business. You're gonna see some crazy stuff on the subway station, right? But it is what it is. You got to go to where you got to go. Now, during this time, there was a homeless black man who was said to have some type of mental issue, and he was yelling. He was yelling a lot. I'm not sure exactly what he said, but he was yelling, and apparently he was annoying a lot of people. Now, it was stated that even though he was yelling, he did not physically harm anybody. Now, through this time, this U.S. Marine veteran right there, and this is how crafty the white man is. He tries to hype you up. And notice how they didn't just say 24-year-old Daniel James Penny. They said
ex-Marine veteran, college student. You got to gas him up. You got to gaslight it a little bit. Matter of fact, let me see. Do I still have it? I'm going to actually read you verbatim what they said. Let me see.
To improve his status?
Yeah, improve his status. Where is it? Okay. I think it's right here. Okay. So this is what they said. This is, let's see, Daniel Penny released a statement through his attorneys after putting Jordan Neely, so that was the brother's name, in deadly chokehold. The law firm of Razor and Kenneth PC represents Daniel Penny, a 24-year-old college student and Marine veteran. Of course, you got to gas him up. Earlier this week, Daniel Penny was involved in a tragic incident on NYC subway, which ended in the death of Jordan Neely. We would first like to express on behalf of Daniel Penny our condolences to those close to Mr. Neely after this man just killed him in broad daylight. Mr. Neely had a documented history. Now they're talking about the black man, right? This is what they said. Mr. Neely had a documented history of violent and erratic behavior, the apparent result of ongoing and untreated mental illness. So let me get this straight. White man kills black man, right? Y'all make it seem like ex-Marine veteran, college student kills black man who was said to have erratic behavior and a history of violence. Where's the proof, though? You're just saying this. Where's the proof that he was violent? Because on that subway station, it was stated that he did not put hands on anybody. The white man was with Daniel Penny, was the one that put hands on him. And I don't even want to look at the video right now because I know already it's going to piss me off. But I'm going to tell you what happened for those of you who have not seen the video before I go. They get this man in a chokehold, rear naked chokehold, right? Not only is the Marine guy, he has him in a chokehold, there's actually two other people who actually hold his arms down because he's trying to struggle to, get him off of him. He strangled that man for 15 minutes. Y'all, I know people watch boxing, right? UFC, so on and so forth, right? Like, or just if we all got into fights at some point, right? If you fight you want to know why those rounds are so short? Bro. When you fighting somebody, you get tired. That's why when most people when they get into a fight, they try to end that fight quickly.
Yeah, that's 5 rounds.
That's 5 rounds. You know, imagine strangling or getting strangled for 5 rounds. That's a slow and painful death. But that's not even the cold part. The cold part is, this is happening in broad daylight, by the way. This isn't in the back of an alley where nobody's around. This is on a subway station. People are assisting the Marine veteran, college student, to put this man down. People are watching this happen. Somebody is recording this. Nobody bothered to step in and get this man off him and say, hey, that's enough. Okay, you're doing a little too much. Okay, I think he got the point. Nobody did anything. This is a black man in America who was killed in broad daylight, strangled to death. Not even by a cop. This is a regular white boy. You see where we're going with this, right? Nobody cared about that man. He's just another erratic, violent, homeless black man who nobody cares about.
Got murdered.
He got murdered. And you know what's crazy? I guarantee you that white boy not going to stay in jail. If he even goes. He'll get the minimum sentence, if anything. Probably do community service at best. And if he does get a sentence, I guarantee you he'll get let out early. Guarantee you. Right? So you mean to tell me that black people can be strangled to death in America for yelling, but a white boy can go somewhere and shoot up a school and he gets treated with more humanity? It's like it's rinse and repeat. At this point, it's like you just playing dumb. We're not playing victim. It's just that here in America, we have a lot of black pride. Okay, we have a lot of black pride. We have pride in our people. We understand what our ancestors went through. They went through horrendous things. Right. But despite all the BS that they went through, they still found a way to survive. Right. They still found a way to invent the things that you have today. The reason why we have a freezer and a fridge, the reason why your beers are cold is because of a black person. The reason why we have something as simple as an ironing board is because of a black woman, actually. The sewing machine, stoplights. The reason why you don't get into a car accident every day is because, I forgot his actual name, but his nickname is Mr. Signal. That's what they call him. Or Mr. Sig. Black man. The reason why you have colored television, black man. The reason why you have a radio, black person. Like all these inventions that you have and that makes your life comfortable and you're more at ease and it's convenient for you is because of black people. Everything, the White House built by black people. Everything built by black people. So we understand that our ancestors went through some horrendous things and did a lot for this country, for a country that never liked them in the first place.
Right.
And we died by the millions. So now we're here today. I know everybody says, you know, it's good to honor your ancestors, right? Well, we honor our ancestors for continuing to fight for what they fought for.
Right.
Because if I didn't do what I did right now, my great-great-granddaddy would be rolling in his grave. That's just real talk right there. All right. So we honor our people. We honor our ancestors by living through the law, statutes, and commandments and coming together as a people. We've already tried to side with our enemies. Scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. Y'all think the Bible is all loving. No. Matter of fact, that's in the Apocrypha. Matter of fact, I'm going to get, I'll get one more scripture. One more. If you can get that for me. Where it says never trust thine enemy. Yeah, never trust thine enemy. Let me see. Never trust thine enemy. I'll be Ecclesiasticus 12 in, I think it's 9 or 10. I think it's 10.
10.
It is 10? Okay. The water. Can you read that for me?
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
Never trust thine enemy.
Right.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So is his wickedness. All right. So now this is in the Apocrypha. Some people don't say that they don't believe in the Apocrypha, which is crazy. It's the lost scriptures from the Bible. The Apocrypha is the Bible. Just so you know.
Right.
Right. Might have a different cover, but it's of the Bible. So now you're reading in the Bible, never trust thine enemy. For as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Meaning it takes time. All right. A lot of your enemies are going to come to you. Like the best, let me tell you right now, the best predators in the animal kingdom are the ones who either work cooperatively or the ones who are able to lure you in. That's what they do, okay? So if your enemy, let me tell you right now, the average white person or just any heathen for that matter is not going to square up with a black person. But they don't have to. You want to know why? Because they have systematic power over you. Why are they going to sit here? Like, that's just common warfare. Why are they going to sit here and waste their time boxing you for what? They're going to get a black eye for what?
Right.
They're going to get shot for what?
Right.
They could just lock you up, put you away in the system, take your kids away from you, deport you. They could do that. They are in control of your jobs. They could demote you. They could fire you. They have power, systematic power over you. So they don't need to do anything like that, right? And also because, again, a lot of our people lack brotherhood. We had brotherhood, but it was destroyed, right? And we don't want to fight for each other anymore outside of the Isupk and the Commander General High.
Right.
Now, if you truly do love your people, I suggest you come into class.
Right.
All right. We really do that. Be there for your people. Shalom, Lord Crisis. Let me see. Before I end the class, I know somebody asked a question. Romans 12, verse 19. I don't know if I have time for that right now. Doesn't have to go. Are you gonna get it right now? Just read it for me real quick. I want to see what it is. Romans 12, verse 19 and 21.
That's like a brotherhood.
What does it say?
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Verse 20. Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fires on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
Oh, that's a pretty easy breakdown. No, all that's talking about is like vengeance is of the Lord, which actually does somewhat tie into what I'm talking about right now. Like, you're not gonna beat Esau and your enemies by going to war with them. I'm telling you right now, like black people, we don't have an army. Like you're not gonna win with guns. Okay, you can't win his way. You're not gonna win with guns. You're not gonna run around, going to war or race wars and stuff like that. Like those things will happen. That's gonna be vengeance of the Lord. Okay, COVID was vengeance of the Lord. COVID is still going on, by the way. I don't know if anybody knows that. All right, and there's other diseases out there too. So my point being is vengeance is of the Lord. Where you see the white population declining in America because
abortions, and it ain't that funny because that was designed for us to kill us, but it really didn't work. It backfired on you. That's the Most High. So what that means is I'm not going to go out here and just punch some random oppressor in the face. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to see some Asian dude and punch him in the face because, he called me the N-word or whatever. No. Now, it is a sin. I'm going to let you know right now. It is a sin to not defend yourself. Like, if somebody puts hands on you, you defend yourself. Don't just sit there and, you could read, I believe it was Maccabees, where, it was the brothers who didn't want to fight during the Sabbath.
They died.
And they died. That was stupid. That would be your example of a fake Israelite camp. You understand? But my point being is, yeah, like it is. Like, you're not, like, fight back. Like, don't just sit there and get your ass whooped. Salakia. Don't do that. Like, defend yourself. But don't try to usurp your, I wouldn't even say their authority because we don't really have authority. Don't harm anybody willingly. Don't take vengeance off of your own accord. That's what that is talking about. So, scriptures say, I'm paraphrasing, that who leadeth into captivity will be put into captivity. There's going to be a time where history is going to change a little bit. All right. There's going to be certain things that are going to happen. And then at one point in time, we're going to be in power. But now we're not going to do the things that Esau did to us. Like, we're not going to be, molesting their children, like trying to sexually assault their women and stuff like that. Fake Israelite camps will tell you that, by the way. That is not of the Lord. I'm going to tell you that right now. We're not going to be doing stuff like that. We're going to make sure you're good. You'll be fed or whatever, but you're going to work for us. You're going to be working a 9 to 5 for us. You're going to be doing just like how we serve you now and we serve you in your militaries. It's going to be reversed.
Right.
Okay. So that's what that scripture is talking about. That's all. Don't go around punching white people in the face. Don't go to your job and you want to box Steve. Okay, you might beat Steve, but Steve gonna file a lawsuit against your ass, so he gonna sue you. Okay, don't do that. All right, be wise. All right, but with that, I'm gonna end the class. This is the ISUPK Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And again, we are not affiliated with any Hebrew Israelite group. Next week, I'll have a longer class, Salakia, just for time's sake. With that, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And with that, shalom.